We're going to have the Mesa Housing Service Governing Board, and we want to invite Mr. Gary Nelson to come forward. Welcome, Mr. Nelson. Ms. Mickelson, are there any items from citizens present? Okay. Item 2, approval of minutes from previous meetings as written. Motion's been made by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mr. Glover. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
The motion passes. Item 3, hear a presentation and discuss updates of the city's housing choice voucher programs, including utilization, funding, and expenditures. Presented by Ms. Liz Morales and Mary Brandon. Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and our board members. I'm here to give you an update. We are now doing quarterly updates, which this report will take us through the end of August 31st. I'd like also to thank Mary, who is the program manager for the Housing Choice Voucher Program, and I will turn it over to her.
Okay, good morning.
Ladies, can you speak to the microphone?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I am. I should have sat over there, I'm sorry. So our utilization is doing really well again this year. It shows here that we're at 100.3 through August, but I just got the numbers and we're at 100.2 for September is where we want to be because we cannot utilize, so we have to be at 100 or below by the end of the calendar year. So we're doing really well. VASH is still a little low, but we're working with VA caseworkers. We have meetings monthly to try to work on the referrals and things like that. So we're working diligently with that. CMAP, as we had talked to you guys about that, the board a few months ago, is basically our report card to HUD. And we submitted that mid-August, and we did have the maximum number of points. So now it's just waiting for HUD to do the approval on that report, and we haven't heard back from that yet.
So we have some really exciting news to share with you. We just were awarded an additional 28 vouchers under the Mainstream program, which is to serve the persons who are disabled. These 28 vouchers are actually have additional criteria. They have to either be homeless, at risk of homelessness, institutionalized, or at risk of being institutionalized. And so these vouchers, we're working with the community to find a coordinated way to work with these populations. I also hope to use a good number of these vouchers for our homeless efforts to provide housing resources for those that we identify through our existing outreach that we're doing with Detective Aaron, the courts, and some of our navigators. We also applied for family unification vouchers. Those are to assist families that are at risk or have been separated from their families due to a lack of housing. And we will find out later this year whether we receive those vouchers or not.
On October 11th, 2 weeks from today, we are hosting a landlord seminar. It is for all the East Valley landlords. We kind of went out to try to get more resources, more landlords to attend. It's going to be over here at the Mesa Convention Center in Building B at the Palo Verde room. So far today, we have almost 50 landlords signed up to come. We're excited. We have great speakers, and we've really been doing an outreach. We've done visits to our current landlords here in Mesa, emails. It's been on Facebook and Twitter, so we're excited about that. We also, with the help of Sharon Skinner, we applied for a grant with the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community, and we were awarded $51,000, and this is the first time we've done this, so we're excited about that. We're going to be using this grant for to help the homeless individuals or families with application fees. Those can really start to add up when they have no income. We found that the average is about $50, so we will assist with that. Also, we're going to assist with the homeless individuals or families with paying their utilities for 3 months while they are getting income resources. It may be disability, it may be other benefits, so we'll assist with that. And then we also are going to do an incentive to the landlords. I think we have 24,000 for that, and it's going to be that we'll pay vacancy payments. If a landlord is willing to assist one of our voucher holders, we'll pay up to 7 days for them to turn that unit if they turn around and lease to one of our voucher holders. So we're excited about that. Hopefully it'll start January 1st. Oh, it's me again. This is the housing assistance payments. As a reminder, our funding is allocated a calendar year. HUD did, you can see on there that we were eligible for $12,554,000, and HUD did a reconciliation, and we got allocated an extra $9,000. So for the year of 2018, $12,533. Well, we had our proration in there as well. So that is only for the HAP payments.
This other slide will show you not just our funding, but also our expenses to date. And I apologize, I missed the question.
Mr. Freeman, he just want to clarify, you meant 12
apologize.
million, right?
Huh?
The slide said 12 million.
12 million.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I say 12,000?
Yeah.
That wouldn't, we almost pay $1 million a month in rent, so no, that wouldn't work. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We
Thank
just want to
you.
make sure.
12 million.
Okay, great.
I apologize. Thank you for that question and clarification. So as Mary discussed, our annual funding, this slide shows our expenses to date. We should be at 66.7%, and we're at 65.1%, which it's as tight as it can be. So really good about that number. We do have reserves in the amount of $473,000. I do want to share that our average monthly expense per unit, per family or individual is $600 a month. That's the assistance we give. The balance of that is paid by the participant in the program. This is up 5% from 2 years ago, so we are seeing rising costs as we know the market, rising rents, but it's also, we're seeing that in our program as well.
And the last one again is our utilization. And again, we talked about the 100.2 for through September. So we're doing really well with our utilization. We want our utilization to be as high as we can because this is what's going to project our funding for next calendar year.
Our final slide is about our administrative revenue and expenses. HUD did announce that they increased what they call the proration factor. They look at the 100% eligibility, and we don't get 100%. We started the year at 77%, and HUD has increased that based on what they have determined through this year. They could increase that to 80%. So that's an additional $36,000 that we get in administrative fees. I do want to, before I finish and ask for questions, I do want to thank Gary Nelson, who's our new resident advisory, housing governing board member. He has been on our program and actually is in our VASH program, I believe. And so thank you for your service, Mr. Nelson, and thank you for serving on this board. And with that, we conclude our presentation.
Great. Council, any questions? Mayor, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you. Just one or two quick. I appreciate the comments earlier about how important utilizing the vouchers are, and I know that, for example, our Section 8 vouchers, there's a waiting list, and the utilization there is amazing. But I think I heard you say earlier that we do have some unused capacity on the BAS voucher program. And then, of course, you just announced the 28 new vouchers for disabled. It might be good just to, can you rehearse for me what vouchers are not being used right now so that maybe we can just help get the word out as to what the unused capacity is?
So, Mayor, thank you for that question. I will tell you the vouchers that are not being fully utilized are the ones for our VASH program, which is for homeless veterans. I think an important lesson we're learning is we did such a great job in the beginning years of getting these vouchers to really get our chronically homeless veterans that we could identify and get into our housing programs. The eligibility for the VASH program is getting, it's more difficult to find veterans who meet the eligibility related to chronic homelessness and the need for long-term case management. So the VA is looking at how to determine the best use and eligibility criteria, because we still have more veterans than we would like to see in homelessness. So we still want, the great thing is there's other resources for those who don't currently meet the VASH criteria, but we want to use these VASH vouchers. So we're asking HUD and the VA to look at how they can adjust the criteria so we can utilize them more fully.
Okay.
Thank you.
Council, any other questions? No? Mr. Nelson, any comment?
Being a VASH recipient, I'm very, very happy to be there. When I initially interviewed, I left there crying because I knew the answer was going to be no. I was the most shocked person in the world when they did say yes, and to date, I'm very satisfied, very happy. The program has treated me well, and I don't know of any other veterans that are complaining at this point. So thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, ladies, for your presentation. All right, so I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. Okay. A motion's been made by Mr. Glover, seconded by Mr. Thompson. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Great, the meeting's adjourned. Now we're going to move on to